Well, we have meat problems. Let's discuss. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever in the world you are watching us. Welcome back. Welcome back to another coffee rant with Dano. Tonight, we have some things we have to discuss, something else to add into the mix of problems in our food supply chain. Tonight, we're talking about hamburger. Most of you already know about this. This is making local news. What I don't understand is that this is making a lot of headlines and everything, but where's it coming from? That's more the issue and the question that I think that nobody is asking and what we need to know. So there's some numbers and stuff that we're going to go over to see if maybe your products are affected. Another thing that gets me too is that there's no recall, and the reason why there's no recall is because all of it has already been sold. Okay, so this is why we need to talk about this now, because there's a good chance this could be sitting in your fridge and you want to either always get your money back, take it back, okay? But we need to go over this, and we have a couple different ones that seem like they're on the list here. We're going to be reading some from USA Today on a possible E. coli, which, this stuff happens. Okay, but the question here, like I said, is where's it coming from? Because we have a couple places that look like they're affected. I'm just going to start off here, read some from USA Today. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, Food Safety and Inspection Service issued a public health alert Saturday for ground beef products produced in March and shipped to food service institutions and retailers nationwide that may be contaminated with E. coli. The raw ground beef items were produced March 28th, 2024, have a packaging date of, get your pen ready, okay? It has a packaging date of 032824. So March 28th, 2024, okay? 032824, and have a use or freeze by date of April 22nd, 2024. Again, a use or freeze by date of April 22nd, 2024. The affected products also have an establishment number, which says on the package EST, establishment number, EST.960A, as in Apple. So it's EST.960, A as in Apple, found inside the USDA mark of inspection. Now, here's the funny thing, and I guess this is how it works. I don't know. It just seems, I wonder, I don't know. I will save my opinions for later if I even have any. Trying to just be the messenger here to get out this what seems to be an ever constant doom and gloom in our food supply after just covering, a lot of vegetables that are being imported into the country for heavy amounts of pesticides. If you happen to miss that video, I'll leave that video in the description box below. They go on to say there is no recall for these items because they are no longer available for purchase, the FSIS says. Anyone who has previously purchased the products should not conserve or serve them, and they should be thrown away or returned to their place of purchase. Get your money back. Don't throw it away. I mean, put it in a bag, be careful with it, stuff like that. Maybe call them to see how they want to get you said money back. Hopefully it can all work out that way and you can just pitch it. Now, I don't have time to go through all of these different numbers, okay? There's a lot of them, okay? So what I'm going to say, I'll read this here. What ground beef products are under the health alert? The problem was discovered by Greater Omaha Packing Company. Well-known packing company here, Omaha, Greater Omaha Packing Company, while conducting an inventory of product that was on hold because it was positive for E. coli. So they have found E. coli, according to the FSIS, which was notified that the company had, quote, inadvertently used a portion of the contaminated beef to produce ground beef products that they subsequently skipped into commerce. So it slid in there, right? Okay, so I'll go on to say what these are affected. Again, this is on the USDA website, the USA Today's article on the contaminated beef, the public health issue. But you can also find this on the FSIS website. And it's quite a bunch. It's a 10-pound, and that's the thing. Like, is it just Omaha here? Like, I guess these are their recalls, but we have another one here we got to discuss too. So just bear with me for a second. Not going to go over all these different lot numbers because there's a lot of them. So I do recommend that you check this out for yourself if you do believe yours is affected. The ones that are affected are the 10-pound ground beef chub, 85% fine grind, 5% ground beef chub, the ground beef rib brisket Chuck Craft Burger 5 pounds, 5-pound ground beef chub, Greater Omaha 100%, all natural 5 pounds, 5-pound beef chub, ground beef, 81 fine ground. And then they have 4/8-ounce ground beef patties. So that's 4 8-ounce patty packages. I would assume that's 4 in a pack, 4 of the 8-ounce burgers, basically. Ground beef, patty, 8-ounce home-style rib brisket. And then they have 4 of the 8-ounce ground beef patties. Lot 34 ground beef, 75, I assume that's 75% patties, 8 ounces. And then they have a 4-pack of 7-ounce ground beef packages here. Lot 34 ground beef, rib brisket Chuck, 7-ounce home-style, 6-ounce ground beef patties. Lot 34 ground beef patties, 6 ounces home-style rib brisket and Chuck. 5-pound ground beef chub, ground beef, 5-pound exact weight. And then they have 6 5.33-ounce ground beef patties, which is the rib brisket Chuck as well, under the home style. The products labels under the health alert can be found on the FSIS website. You might want to go to that website, FSIS. There have not been any confirmed reports of illnesses due to consumption of these products reported. And anyone concerned about an illness is recommended to contact their healthcare provider. And they go on to talk about what is E. coli and all this stuff. And I'm not going to go into all that because we have another article that we need to read. And this was kind of my point. And this is kind of like, it's just getting started. It's just getting started. This is just coming out. All this stuff was sold. No recall, apparently. Which that seems kind of weird to me. I mean, so it's all been sold, so there's no recall of further going out because I guess it was all purchased, but so you can still return it though. So I mean, I that's good. I mean, I guess I don't know, guys. These things just keep happening, and it's really a headache. Okay, so here we are. Reading from WMUR website, which is a news network website, News 9 Daybreak, I guess. They put out a on Hanford recall issued for possible E. coli contamination in some ground beef products sold at select Hanford locations. So let's see if this. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, Food Safety, and Inspection Service issued a public health alert for 85% lean ground beef sold at Hanford supermarkets this April. The recall impacts select stores. Now, this says recall. Okay, so are you as confused as I am? I really don't know. I didn't even know how I was going to do this video with all the confusion. I normally don't like doing videos like this where there's a lot of confusion, but it's been all over the local news. How many people have seen on TV this hamburger contamination, possible contamination with E. coli, and then there's no information. There's none. Like, where did it come from? We know that that the Greater Omaha Packing Company stumbled upon this in their meat. But where's it coming from? Where's the source? I'm assuming that that's what we're going to find out here in the next few days, and I will keep you updated on it, but wanted to get this information out here as fast as possible, just in case anybody had some of these affected products in your refrigerator. So they go on to say the Hanford brand produced by Greater Omaha Packaging Company could be contaminated with E. coli if purchased during April 6th through 16th. With a sell-by date of April 6th through 18th. Stores in Maine, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts have been affected. So if you live in Maine, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts, and you have any of that from the Hanford supermarkets, I guess 85% lean hamburger, you may not want to eat it. Okay? It says a full list of impacted stores was released by the supermarket. So Hanford Supermarket, if you go to their website, and on this, this is the WMUR 9 ABC. So it's an ABC News website here. I'll tell you what, guys, this is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I'll tell you what, I'd be willing to bet that this is going to get a lot bigger. I'd be willing to bet that this is... I'm not a gambling man. But you know what? We have seen this happen so much over the last 6 or 7 months where we'll see a product just get out there, right? It's in the news, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. It just starts spreading and spreading and spreading. I would not be surprised if this gets bigger. Hopefully it doesn't. But I wouldn't be surprised at all, not one bit. Okay, so they go on. Hanford advises customers to check their food storage for these specific products. Again, they say Maine, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts. I would argue that it may spread out to more states. As we saw in the first article with USA Today, it talks about spreading out nationwide. Okay, so 85% lean ground beef, the small pack. Okay, small pack, whatever that means. UPC code 2231260000. Okay? UPC code 2231260000. And then there's another one. 85% lean ground beef family pack. With a UPC code 223-127-00000. So 5 zeros at the end there. Again, family pack UPC code 223-127-00000. The supermarket says the product or its packaging can be returned for a full refund. No injuries or illnesses have been reported. No impacted beef was sold when the health alert was issued, according to Hanford. And, you know, guys, I'll tell you, and there are a lot of articles covering this with not a lot of answers. Food Safety News, which is a website that we frequent on this channel, and USA Today. But they go on to say the same things. They throw in this extra number here on Food Safety News, though, that I wanted to just mention here. Because there's a lot of confusion. This is why normally what we do here on the channel for something, there's a lot of research done. I usually go through several different websites, check everything, but there's been a lot of concern about this because the unknowing is the knowing that we need to find out what's going on, right? We need to make sure that the hamburger that's in our refrigerators is not part of this contamination. Okay? So they go on to say basically the same thing about the FSIS, the U.S. Department of Agriculture and Food Safety is issuing a public health alert for ground beef products from Greater Omaha Packing Company. So Greater Omaha Packing Company they're the ones that have stumbled upon this. They're the ones that have found this. But the question is, where did that come from, right? And where else has it been sent to? Okay. Like that normally for these things, you know, and normally with the recall, there's probably a process and all that stuff. They'll disclose all the different states. They're not disclosing any of the states here. The only ones that did are the Hanford supermarkets in some of the northeastern states. But here's the Greater Omaha Packing Company Incorporated that may be contaminated with E. coli, and then they have this number here, 0157 semicolon H7. What that means, I have no idea, but I noticed this, and I just wanted to make sure that I put it out here in case some of you do. Let us know down in the comments if you have any idea what that number is, because they do not explain anything of what that is. Greater Omaha Packing Company Incorporated that may be contaminated with E. coli 0157 semicolon H7. Okay? I don't know what that is. FSIS is issuing this public health alert to ensure that consumers are aware that these products should not be consumed. A recall was not requested because the products are no longer available for purchase. That really just sounds very confusing to me. Now they have the packaging date the same, March 28th, 2024. The same use freeze by date we went over, April 22nd, 2024. Same establishment number, 960A, 960A as an apple. So that is, I guess, hopefully what's on all the packages that are affected. We went over the different products that were affected that the Greater Omaha Packing Company went over. Okay, again, check out the FSIS website to find out those different lot numbers and stuff like that. They go on, here we'll go over some of the symptoms of E. coli. E. coli infections vary for each person, but often include severe stomach cramps, diarrhea, which is often bloody. Some patients may also have a fever. Most patients recover within 5 to 7 days. Others can develop severe or life-threatening symptoms and complications, according to the CDC. About 5 to 10% of those diagnosed with E. coli infections develop a potentially life-threatening kidney failure. That's what I was wondering, because I thought that was a possibility. Life-threatening kidney failure complication known as hemolytic uremic syndrome, or HUS. Symptoms of HUS include fever, abdominal pain, feeling very tired, decreased frequency of urination, small, unexplained bruises or bleeding, and pallor. Okay. All right. So the investigation is ongoing, I hope. There's been a lot of feedback on the channel for me to discuss this, and I had to give it at least a day. These things are coming in waves of all these different products. We have discussed over the last couple days. We've discussed Lunchables, with concerns of lead. I saw that on the news earlier. They're talking about lead. We need amounts and numbers for that. Again, another reason why I don't like doing some of these type coffee rants until we know the full scale of what's going on. As far as tons of pesticides that are in some of the fruits and vegetables, that has been on the news. This is all over the news with the hamburger, yet they're not very descriptive, at least on our news networks here. So we had to discuss this to make sure that everybody. I know I hate always delivering the doom and gloom, guys, but we got to be aware. And this is some scary crap. And it's like this stuff keeps happening. It keeps getting in our food. This is what we talk about on the channel. This is what we do. Our morning videos cover different price increases, different things in the stores. Try different ways. We're trying different ways to save money, get creative with our meals. I mean, these are things that we're having to do in the future. And now, over the last 6-7 months, it has been a complete crazy, like, every day something new is coming up in the food. One I missed the other day. Okay, and I'll go ahead and discuss it now for a second. But I don't know much about it. A lot of people have been talking about it on the channel. But Trader Joe's, and I guess their basil, There was something with their basil. We're going to have to look that up. But there wasn't enough information. So just throwing that out there if you want to look that up to try and find out what's going on. I have heard some different comments from you guys about a recalled basil, fresh basil it's like in a package, though. It's in a package. And that was from Trader Joe's, I believe. Got a lot of comments on that one, too. I can only cover so much, guys. I mean, this is just, it seems like every day there's just so many different things going on with food now. And this is why we're doing these videos, so that we can keep you aware of everything, make sure you're safe, check these things that we talk about, or, check them out for yourself. On some of these websites. You can Google beef recall, and there's literally, but it's not a recall. That's what's funny. That's what's funny. I mean, the one website even said recall, and it's not a recall. Now, you can get your money back, but I think, is this like when you do a recall on something, is that a process where you can start talking about all the different states affected and where it's at and everything like that? Because I don't know. Like, I feel like the information is pretty vague. But we got the establishment number, we got the created number, we got the best if used by date or freeze by date. So that's something, I guess, to go on. But anyway, guys, just wanted to deliver this disturbing coffee rant for you guys tonight. I hope it helps, and hopefully nobody is affected from that. But if you are, make sure you get your money back. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.